So this is my dead mermaid look, and if you want to see how I got it, keep watching. People really should recycle better. So, like an idiot, I forgot my contacts, but I can't see what I'm about to do, so I can't put them both in, and I think one looks very effective. So this is my zombie mermaid costume, and it took a couple hours to do, 3 hours to do, but it looks really good. I think it looks good. And you know, don't spray colored hairspray on freshly bleached hair. Mine was not. If you're gonna go to a party and you don't want to get crap on people's stuff or keep wetting your hair, like gel or something like that would work probably. So this is definitely a statement. You know, this is a statement thing. So I wish I could have gone down to the water, but it has gotten cold, so we can just pretend that I was caught by a net and I was dragged. So. Yes, I'm weird, I know. So here we go. Liquid latex, that is what I'm using here. Very simple, you can get it anywhere. Mine's a tad more expensive than I would have liked, but I will be using it in other videos. So yes, I'm such a dork. I'm making what will be scabs, and as you can see when they dry, they are clear. And that stuff is what I'm using. You don't have to use Urban Decay, use anything. I just happen to have the colors I wanted in the Urban Decay. So I don't really like the consistency of the cheap dollar, it was $1, that cream from Walmart. So I like to mix it up with any kind of lotion that is hypoallergenic. So then I wanted to make a nice dead sea foamy green color. The toothpick got friggin' lame, so I dumped it. And not quite. You can make it as dark or as light as you want, do whatever you like. And you mix it around until that made me happy. So there's all the scabbies, and I don't want to use a sponge. I tend to use fingers all the time. So basically just spread it on like a friggin' trowel. And there's 0, which I can read from the deluxe palette. I will put all the actual names of everything I use in case you want to know in the description box below. All I'm doing here is making like a map so I know where I want things to be sunken in and darker. And I did not practice this look. This took me 3 hours only because it's my first time ever doing this in front of a camera. And I never practice Halloween looks. I just do them. I just have an idea in my head and boom, and it comes out however it comes out. And you can always fix stuff, especially when you're a zombie. So here I am, spraying it over. As you can see, it's covering the black, but that's totally fine. Oh my goodness, this is hilarious. This is fun. I hope this turns out well. So basically, it's okay to be blotchy. I'm going down my neck. Don't wear something that you don't want wrecked, because I don't really think it'll wreck, but it might. This stuff's pretty cheap. So keep going until you get to the color you want. So this took me quite a few layers. You have to let it dry in between a little bit, or you're just gonna like rub it off. So yes, I'm a dork, I know. So that's what the color I wanted, and like I said, blotchy is good because you're dead. Why would your skin be perfect? And there's me showing off my scabs, and you can very clearly see them. So I'm taking some gray from a really cheap palette that I got on sale, and I'm just putting it under my eyes and certain places that I want to build layers. I like to build layers. I'm weird like that, I know. So I put it on my scabs areas and my cheekbones as well, and I do this on my collarbone. Right there I'm just doing a little contrast, which really means nothing later because I'm going to just paint over it. Yes, I'm a dork. So there you are. You see the gray, just wherever I had the black, and making sure the scabbies get a nice layer of grossness. I would go back farther on the neck, but my hair will be down, so it does not matter. And on top of my eyes, just because you want to build that disgustingly dead zombie look. Okay, so black from the same cheap-ass palette. And I'm going back over the cheekbones and all the places that I had put the other black and the gray. And if you put too much on or too, like, you screw it up, just take some more of the green face paint you made and go over it. And I'm using the cheap little sponge that came with it, and it kind of was bugging me, so I just used my fingers again. So there we go, just added more black, shadowing, trying to make myself look a little, you know, sunken in a little bit, even though I'm chubby, it's hard to do that. And see, I put it down on my jawline, and I did put it on my collarbone as well. And I used the sponge a little bit. It's still, I would use a better makeup sponge, I think, next time. So there's my scabby, and it's time to lift it up. So you can use your fingers. I like to use a toothpick a little bit because I want it to not look like perfectly ripped off. Like, I want it to look gross, and I leave it. You can trim it a little bit too. So this is the fun part, I think, always pulling off the latex. And I pulled off all my, I had a whole bunch of it down there. And, oh yeah, oh, that just looks gross. So, like, here I'm poking at it and prodding at it and trying to make it look like it's got lots of holes in it and wrinkles and stuff, because your skin just wouldn't rip off perfectly now, would it? So just stab the latex a whole bunch. Just don't stab yourself too hard until you get a nice bumpy gross look. And there we are, looking deader by the minute. So then I took some of the green that I used on my face, just a little bit, to put underneath there. You don't really have to, but it just makes it more consistent, I think. And, you know, everywhere I had the latex, which is a lot of places. Nowhere private. Ugh, it looks gross. So I just taken, again, the cheap red. You can, you know, you could use fake blood, whatever you want, but honestly, trust me, it looks fine. You could leave it this red if you want. If you want a really bright red blood look, you totally could leave it like this, but I obviously prefer to look more rotting. So basically I'm just getting up under the scab and a little bit on top of the latex because, you know, it's not going to be tidy, like it's going to be everywhere. So I'm going to do that to all of my scabies. And it does take a while. And there's just the red. So I'm also going to take the cheap black again and go over the red and go over the latex part that's left to make it look more rotting and scab-like. And it just starts to look grosser and grosser and grosser. I tend to never do Halloween costumes that are not disgusting or dead because I just like them this way, and I'm strange like that. But it's more fun to me. Halloween should be all grody. I don't know. You could have been a pretty mermaid, but whatever. So I'm going to take some of my Urban Decay in this like kind of browny color, which I will list below. And I'm adding brown because obviously scabs, if you see them, they turn brown. And I'm going around the wound a little bit too, as if it had bruised, because it would have bruised. So you can do as much as this or as little as this as you want. There we are, scabbing it up. So I'm taking some colors from the Urban Decay Book of Shadows 4, a very pretty purple, because at one time this mermaid was obviously pretty and I wanted to show that. So, and I'm going to use, I don't know, mermaidy colors in my mind, Bender, and just go to town right to the eyebrow with that green. I love that green. That green's gorgeous. You can't really screw it up. And so then I'm putting in more of the purple, and it's blending. Like I said, you can just use drugstore. I just happen to be using that. That is some kind of silver. I don't remember. I'll list it. And it's kind of like a highlight, but not really because it's a kind of blue. Just adding a little more shimmer because, you know, she's not been dead that long. And that's a little bit of a cool kind of, I thought, mermaidy teal color. And I'm going to put that just, you know, around. Again, I'm layering. Layer to your heart's content. And yes, I use my fingers a lot. Like, I don't know why I don't use brushes. I'm stupid. Yeah, Fishnet, I thought that was hilarious. So I'm putting some purple because, again, she was pretty. And if you notice my eyes are red, I just took some of that cheap cream palette red and did it on my waterline. Very simple. So I'm using the Urban Decay, the freaking mascara that came with it. I don't even know. I poked myself in the eye like 5 times. Again, You do not have to use high-end stuff. Use whatever you like, whatever colors you want. And as you can see, I've blended out so my eyes look a little more deep and dark and mermaid-like, fish-like. And okay, this was an odd plan that went weird. I'm trying to draw a fishnet mark, and I couldn't find an actual fishing net to like cover in blood and then stick on my face and take it off. So I'm just attempting to draw one. And the whole time I'm doing this, Mama Butterfly is mocking me. She did not stay for the full 3 hours of this, by the way. She went and had a nap for part of it. So now I'm darkening it, and this is just the palette stuff again, and it does not look how I was hoping it would look. Yeah, she's an idiot. It was not, you know, it's not looking like I was hoping it would look, but in the end, you can see it will look awesome. So here I'm in the bathroom, and I'm going to wet my hair because, you know, it has to look wet and gross. And having the purple in my hair is cool. I think it's fine. You don't need it, but mermaids might have purple hair. So I'm taking that mousse. It can be any mousse. That's my mom's mousse. I just grabbed it because it'll keep your hair looking crunchy and kind of gross and like wet. I rarely use mousse just because I don't use heated stuff on my hair. And that would be some green colored hairspray. And do not use that on freshly lightened dyed hair. My mom is helping me just put some streaks in because I was spraying the painting, and this way you could get a better view. So she's just putting the green everywhere basically she can. If you can't, you know, if you don't have one to help you, you can just really put in a bowl, spray it in a bowl like that, put in your hair. I wanted my the front of me to be really green. Boom, black, yes. She's like, why are you putting black on? Because, you know, I'm dead. So I wanted to darken up my purple and to darken up the green. So I just got a black again. It was like $1.50 at Walmart, very inexpensive. And I'm just messing it. I'm making it really scrunchy and gross. It felt really disgusting after, but, you know, what are you going to do? And I wanted my scalp to be green, so I sprayed it really on my scalp. A little bit dripped, but it looked good after. I was happy. So there I am. Look. Oh, yeah, so cute. So here we go. There is all the makeup and hair except for my lips. And I am putting a 6-pack holder in my hair because, well, if you're dragged through the ocean, you're going to probably have that happen. And people should really, you know, cut those or recycle them. So I thought that was a hilarious touch to me. And I'm going to be putting on some pearls. I had more pearls to put on, but, you know, I ended up with just that. And now we're lips. So I'm just using the white from the cheap palette. You don't have to use like a primer. You can if you want. This is just the white so that it makes the other colors pop a little bit. And I decided my mermaid needs to have some shading there. It just makes it look like my bottom lip's out a little bit more. It's just the green that I used on my eyes. And so I'm taking the Deluxe palette because it has some pretty blues. And I like to think she would have had a pretty blue lip anyway. But, you know, you're dead. Your lips can be blue. So very pretty, pretty baby blue. And I'm using that teal one again. And I'm kind of lining my lips. But I'm gonna smush it kind of in like an ombre effect, I guess you call it if you're an actual beauty guru. So, because I want it to look a little sparkly. Because, you know, mermaids are sparkly, and I like sparkles. So then I'm just taking a little bit more, and I'm just pulling it in towards my mouth. So then I'm taking 0 again, and I thought this would look really creepy, and I'm just brushing on some of the black eyeshadow on the inner part of my mouth. I don't know, I just thought it would look kind of gross and cool. And it does, I think, anyway. So just do that as much as you want, or as little as you want. You can put stuff on your teeth, too, if you want to look really gross. I just didn't. And what is a mermaid without some sparkles? So just a little bit on my eyebrows, and a little bit like where she might be crying, and a little bit on my lips, just because I would sparkle just a little bit. Why would you not? And that's it. Time to hug my mommy. Bye, boo.